don't underestimate the value of a well-placed fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Or, oh my God. Yeah, you don't have to be running on and composing soliloquies in real time.
I'm Amy.
I'm April.
Certified sex educators, sexperts of the year, and best-selling authors.
And we're on a mission to help you have more spicy, connected, and amazing shameless sex. Welcome to the Shameless Sex Revolution.
We're so close, it's like we have our own language. We're making sex and relationships shameless.
To learn more, go to shamelesssex.com.
And for 15% off some of our favorite sex toys, use code SHAMELESSSEX at purepleasureshop.com.
You were listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to the Shameless Sex podcast. I'd say this is a very special, exciting one, and it is. But I usually say that when it's in person, and we've been on a roll for in-person podcasts. But this is very special and exciting because it's Ashley Manta. She's
and it was
amazing.
In our studio.
I know.
Which is great because we are in our very comfortable space. It's like our, what do you call it? The aquarium? No, where is it where you had the lizards? It's a terrarium?
I think so.
What, is that where you have the lizards?
I think I've never had lizards. So
I had a pet lizard.
Did you have a terrarium?
I can't remember if it was a terrarium.
It's like a fish tank with other lighting.
No water.
Oh, it's a dry fish tank.
It's our terrarium. So we had Ashley Manta in our terrarium.
We gave her water,
dirty.
though. Yeah.
Yes, and we made her talk dirty.
Yes,
we didn't make her do anything.
And she's good. She's super skilled at this. You may know you want to learn about that
naughty
dirty,
talk.
naughty,
Ooh,
nasty.
Yeah.
ASMR. Okay, so if you are in Dallas, Austin, and Santa Cruz, or in the Bay
Why do you
Area,
want to know if I'm there?
so you can come to our live show.
You're doing a live show?
We are. Chip.
We are? I'm so excited. We are. I cannot wait. These are so fun.
Yeah, they're super fun. So they are edutainment. They are a performance. They're education. It is all the things you want in your perfect wrapped up package on a stage.
And you won't be scared. You'll probably be so thrilled. You'll laugh. You might laugh until you cry. You won't cry, really. I don't think people cry with excitement. We've had some people cry with excitement.
Yeah.
We also have to give a shout out because we have the most incredible sponsors ever. We did a tour last year, and this year we are taking it up a notch. And if you book a VIP spot, you get hundreds of dollars worth of toys from our sponsors. But we have Magic Wand, Sport Sheets. If you don't know about Sport Sheets, those are the people that make our favorite squirt blanket and accessories to tie you up, the under the bed restraint system, and more.
Yeah.
And we also have Aneros, which makes our favorite prostate massager.
And we have Womanizer, We Vibe, we have Uberlube.
And Womanizer makes your favorite toy forever.
So if you come and you're not VIP, because, maybe you won't book that, you might get those free toys. So come and be entertained. We will do lots of entertainment on stage. We always bring in performers for each show. The first show in Austin, by the way, Reed Mihalko, he's part of that show. I'm super excited for this.
Read about sex. REID. I love him. He's so fucking. We just did that unicorn episode with him. Also, it's so fun because each show is different.
Yeah.
This is one thing you have to know. So if you're in Austin and you're available on May 1st, it's May Day. May Day. Bring us a basket because that's what you do on May Day. You bring a basket of goodies celebrating spring or whatever.
And if you don't, we'll still love you.
Yeah. And then you don't really have to bring a basket of anything. In Dallas, you can bring us a
May 2nd,
a cowboy hat.
Day.
May 2nd. And then closing down in Santa Cruz, Amy, where it all began.
The 31st is like a month later, but
I can't wait. I'm so stoked. Okay.
I'm super excited.
Shamelesssex.com. I think you already said that.
Oh, yes. Go sign up now. Like now. What
are you talking about? Right now?
Like now.
Okay, then let's stop for a second and have everyone sign up.
Are you ready for a sex question from a vulva owner?
Okay, I'm stoked for this question.
All right, here we go. I recently received a We Vibe Bond vibrating penis ring as a free gift. I know, poor me, but I don't fully understand it. Are you familiar with this toy? Would it be something you recommend? Is it used with penetration or generally alone?
The interesting part is that it's a vulva owner that received a C-ring,
Yeah.
which is technically for a penis. It doesn't have to be always. I love that. And they're like, what do I do with it?
This cock ring, yeah. And it is designed for partner play. It very much is. And also penetrative, but it can be used for grinding or just like bodies close to each other, but is generally designed for partners to, meaning like a penis and a vulva, to be intimate with each other.
Well, the cool thing about it is, and I'm kind of a connoisseur of cock rings, and this is a newer design from WeVibe that I love because it snaps open. It has like this part, so it really is able to fit a lot of different penis sizes, and then it has this perineum V-shaped stimulator. So between that taint, the gooch, what do you want to call it? The perineum?
What's the kundalini, the K-spot? The kundalini?
The kundalini
that's not
spot.
my term for it. Yeah. And we're like,
Which is great. So there, if you're a penis owning human, you get that stimulation of the pressure of the perineum, but then you're going to get the vibration because they're asking, is it used with penetration or generally alone? Well, you could use it either way if you want to, but for partner play, it will vibrate a human.
I think
or
it's
two.
It's more so partner play. It's more so like playing with other people. When you wear a vibrating cock ring, you're playing with other people usually.
Well, you could wear this though because there's a remote. So if she has a penis owning partner, you could use the remote or the app. And if your partner's walking along and has it on their cock, you turn it on and vibrate them as they're walking around. It's the Bluetooth app. It's an app. It's the WeVibe app. It's super easy to navigate, and they're high tech, but they're also beautifully made toys. I'm obsessed with WeVibe for a long time.
It's also like multiple sizes, right? It's not just for like one cock size.
You can expand it. If you look at the actual toy design, it's really smart, and it's a C shape that snaps together. So if you're girthier, you can make it smaller by taking out a piece. But there's a remote that you can use if you don't want to use an app. Some people hate apps. And then there's the actual app. So with the app, I could buzz you from when you're over there in New York, Amy.
Hey.
I could buzz your ass.
And so just one thing about cock rings is that they are often designed to keep the blood flow there in the cock. And that involves the cock and balls in the cock ring, right? So the whole package is outside the cock ring. Not everyone has to play that way, right? You could just wear it for the vibrations, and this toy is likely designed to go around the whole package.
WeVibe, and I love that they make stuff that you can buzz a dude walking around your partner, just randomly have them get perineum stimulation from you.
Or a pussy
thinking about
owner
them.
with their other products too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they have a ton of different things.
If you want to learn more about WeVibe, go to purepleasureshop.com and you can look up the WeVibe Bond, all their other toys, the C-shaped toys that you can wear vaginally. And then you have 2 different vibrators for different areas of your body, and your partner gets vibrations too. Use coupon code Shameless Sex. You get 15% off.
So thank you for that question. I hope we answered everything. Yes. And yes, you can use it. You can use it on all the things. Okay.
We recommend it. Yes.
But not in your butt.
Yeah.
Okay. They have things for that too, though. Are you ready for Ashley Manta's bio? Okay. Ashley Manta is an award-winning sex educator, certified sexologist, and the 2020 Sexpert of the Year. Ashley is a sought-after speaker, coach, and media contributor whose work has been featured in Forbes, Newsweek, Huffington Post, and Viceland. To learn more, go to ashleymanta.com.
All right, everyone, it is interview time, and this is a very exciting episode because we are in person with Ashley Manta. If you are not watching us on YouTube and Spotify, you should, because we have the video format so you can see her beautiful blonde hair and her awesome pizzazz when she does dirty talk for you, because that is what we are talking about today. She's been on our show 2 times. First one was about cannabis and sex, because she's also the CannaSexual. The second one was about handjobs, which was, as April said when I wasn't recording earlier, one of our top episodes in the top 10 out of over 420 episodes.
I always say we have 450, but apparently I was wrong.
There's a lot of bonuses.
There's a lot of bonuses. And that I will never forget the pepper grinder.
Yeah, the pepper grinder.
Which is in our book too. Thank you for that.
Yes.
My pleasure.
So if you have heard Ashley on our show, well, it was a while ago. And so we are going to start with the same prompt as we always do. Ashley, welcome to the show. And welcome again in person, though, this time for the first time. And please tell us and our listeners a little bit more about how you got to where you are today in the field of sexuality.
Oh my goodness. It has been a long and windy road. I started in the field of sexuality in 2007. So we're at like 18 years.
That's
now.
a year before us. Yeah. Oh, wow. She's got more than us. Okay. We're all right.
Just a little bit.
Competitive. Just kidding.
It's okay. It's okay. I got my start doing sexual violence prevention education. So I was a rape crisis counselor, domestic violence crisis counselor. I was a victim advocate in the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office. I did education at colleges and high schools around primary prevention of sexual violence and bystander intervention. Really, really amazing, very heavy work early on. And working in the DA's office as a victim advocate, I was going to court every day. I had 20 cases a day.
Dang.
All of my cases were juvenile victims of adult offenders, which was horrific. And it became very apparent to me that that was not what I was going to be able to do for the rest of my life. Like, it was just too intense. And so I left the DA's office in 2012 and worked at Planned Parenthood for a year. Just love their work. I'm really committed to that mission and reproductive rights and, abortion for all. Abortion is healthcare. And I loved working at Planned Parenthood. They were wonderful to work for and also did so much good in the community. I learned so much about STIs and birth control. And then I moved to California in 2013 and became a phone sex operator. And that is where this skill set was born.
A phone sex, just the phone?
Where you pick up the landline?
Oh, yes. This was before cam girls. Okay.
My God. This is exciting.
This was landline. This was 800 number. This was ads on Craigslist and Backpages.
Whoa. So how long did you do this work?
Just for a year.
Okay. I can't wait to dive in. So this is, you have this sexy way to speak. Your cadence does come across as very sexual because you say certain things and you're like, yeah, and. So I can't wait to talk to you in this dirty talk conversation because I'm sure those conversations with people that called in were always kind of like Russian roulette, if you will. Not to speak about Russians, but will you give us an example of a call, like how it would go? Bring,
Absolutely.
bring, bring, bring.
Hi.
Wait, I think April should be the person that's calling you. It's for funsies.
I love that. All right. Do it, April.
Bring, 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 bring.
Hey, it's Lexi. What can I do for you tonight?
Hey, Lexi. I don't know. This is my first time. What do you do?
Well, I'm here to make all of your fantasies come true. So what would feel really good for you right now?
I really want to be massaged with some baby oil. Oh, too soon. Sorry. With some shea butter.
I would love to do that. How about I warm up some shea butter and lie you down on my bed and just take my hands and rub them all over your body, starting from your calves all the way up to your shoulders.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Do you charge by the minute?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so this is my question. This is my question about charging by the minute. Are you trying to you're not doing this anymore, but were you trying to drag out the experience? Did you ever talk really slowly? You're like, so my hands are on your calves.
You had to kind of play the game a little bit because you were absolutely playing chicken with them because they were trying to get off the phone and get off as quickly as possible. Some of them would get off before I even took their credit card information. Literally, I'd be like, hey, it's Lexi. And they'd be like, click. And I'm like, motherfucker.
All I needed to hear was her voice that one time.
For real.
I was a little shell shocked when you were like, hey, this is Lexi. What would you like? I was like, I don't know. The possibilities are endless. So, okay. So you take someone's fantasy or dream and you just sort of expand
Elucidate
on that.
it.
Ooh, I love that.
How did you learn how to do this though? So, because you just started doing this career for 1 year. Did you
and you started with crisis lines and then it went into,
it's a
which
whole
is
different way of
incredible.
talking to people.
Well, so two things were really working in my favor. One is I got certified as a hypnotist in 2010 when I was in grad school. Ooh. And one of the things we had to do was to submit a final project where we did a whole hypnosis induction and deepening and all of the things. And my teacher was like, you sound like a phone sex operator. Because I'd be like, now I want you to make yourself as comfortable as you can and take some slow, deep breaths.
I get it. I get what your professor was saying.
So that was working for me. And yeah, with the crisis line, I had heard such intense, negative, scary, some of the most painful, challenging experience of people's lives. And so talking about fantasies was just way easier because I have no limits. Nothing freaks me out. Nothing is too much or too taboo. And so I had kind of that going for me. And then it was just really like a crash course in improv.
that's the thing that is the art of dirty talk a lot of times is improvisation.
Yeah.
And so I want to dive into the how-tos, because for a lot of folks, you can get not only like boxed in or scared where you're like, huh, I'm totally afraid of what I'm going to say if I'm even asking for dirty talk or if my partner's requesting it. So let's start from the foundation. So you're a new person and you've never done dirty talk before. You know your partner is into it and you've always clammed up or gone into your oyster shell and you didn't have an idea of which direction to go. So where would that person start?
Where that person would start is where I really think everyone should start, which is learning how to make noise when you masturbate.
Oh, just noise or
Any
like
noise.
just any noise.
Any kind of vocalization.
So
like
just
even
moaning,
even just like a on the exhale. Like it doesn't have to be dramatic.
Yeah.
You can just start to vocalize, because almost all of us were socialized to masturbate in what I call stealth mode, which is silently and as quickly as possible.
It's like biohacking.
Right.
Get there as efficiently as possible.
Right. We're just going for like quick and dirty. But dirty talk is about vocalizing. It's about actually using your voice and giving yourself a chance to be heard and witnessed and to connect in a vulnerable way, which is scary as fuck for most people. And so the way that you start to kind of crack that is that you need to learn how to get comfortable experiencing pleasure out loud. And that, if I put on my hippie hat for a second, like when you start to unlock your throat chakra in that way, it does get a little bit easier. The other thing that's really helpful to do is to have a pre-talk. So, sitting here with April, if I'm like, hey, what kinds of words do you like to hear? What would feel really good for you to explore? Do you want me to give you instruction? Do you want me to give you feedback? Do you want me to try to seduce you with my words? Seduction, instruction, and feedback are like the three main genres of dirty talk. There's definitely more, but like those are the primaries. And doing all three is helpful, but getting a sense from your partner of like, what do they really want to hear? What is going to turn them off? If you say the word twat to me, I'm done.
Yeah, it's a
like,
no.
It's just my whole pussy will pack up and leave.
And then you follow it.
And then I follow it. She leads, I follow. But
yeah.
So yeah, what's on the table, what's not on the table. And don't be afraid as the partner who's like asking for dirty talk. Feed your partner lines. Say, it would feel so hot to me if you call me a good girl. It would feel so hot to me if you say, Daddy, can I please come for you?
Okay, so you get that information, right? So I talked to April. I'm like, April, what would work for you? And she's like, Daddy, can I come for you would work really well. Or no, that's her saying that. Well, whatever. So say yeah, anyways. So, but what if I still get the stage fright? Like I'm there and it's happening and I'm like, I want to say the thing.
Wait, so you already had permission. You know what she wants to hear or they want to hear?
Yeah.
And you had stage fright?
And then I'm like, I'm going to say this thing. And then I'm like,
it's so common. Take a deep breath.
the breath again.
I know. You just got to breathe. But like, breathing buys you time. Look into their eyes, smile, take a breath, maybe put your hand on your heart or your hand on their heart if that feels good for you. And just... And you can even say, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Can we have some like low impact practice? Like, can we try it and not have it be tied up in the success or failure of our sexual encounter this afternoon?
Okay, this is helpful. So what if you're on the other side of it and you and I, Ashley and April are here, or let's leave me out of it. You and Amy, okay? Amy has given you permission for the dirty talk. She doesn't know.
I want to be a good girl and a bad girl.
Okay? She doesn't know exactly what she wants to be told. And so you're open to hearing what she wants to be told. Would you prompt her with like some dirty antics? So give us some examples of you're going in totally cold with someone, knowing that they want dirty talk. They have no idea. They're like, I don't know.
Oh, I'm a new partner.
Yes.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yes.
So one of the keys with the pre-talk is like having some of these discussions in advance, but you might not know the answers. You might not know until you get there. So like with no pressure and no attachment to outcomes and no judgment. Oh my God. No matter what Amy would tell me, I would never be like, that's weird. Or like, ew, gross. I'd be like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that. Can you tell me more about what turns you on in that phrasing or that scenario? And so like going in, making it as low impact as possible, and then saying something like, I want to make you feel so good. Would you like it better if I called you a good girl while I look into your eyes, or if I tell you that I want to watch you touch yourself for me?
Ooh, they're both landing, but I would go for the first one. But maybe, could you call me, I'm such a good girl when you look in my eyes, but I'm like bent, you're behind me and I'm on all fours, but you make me look into your eyes at the same time.
Oh yeah. What if I were to like take my hands and like put them into your hair very gently and kind of turn your head to look at me?
Yes. And so, because you have curly hair, Ashley,
Yes.
but do not fuck with my hair. Just
Right.
grab the scalp.
Right. Grab the scalp.
hair by
But do
the
not
scalp.
pull the ends.
Other side tip, everyone. Don't fuck with curly hair. Yeah. Yes. I would love that.
Excellent.
Yes.
I would love to do that for you.
All right. But what if so we do that and then I'm just dead silent. I'm like, oh, well, you're saying all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, or I'm like, oh.
Then I could prompt you again. I could be like, I want you to tell me how good this feels.
This feels so good. Can you go a little bit slower though? And maybe grab my scalp again and pull me closer to you.
Oh, I would love to do that. Thank you so much for asking for what you want. It really turns me on when you do that.
Have I been a good girl?
You've been such a good girl for telling me what you want.
I like that. Okay. So
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Right?
The role play, maybe you could do that outside of the bedroom
For sure.
and play around with the different like dialogue that could go in place. I've learned a lot from watching certain actually erotic storytelling. When Dipsy was a part of my life on a regular, I learned so much. And then from some porn that I've watched, like the step porn where I'm like, I want my partner to say those things to me. That is helpful. And he does incorporate that into our play. And that's helpful. So if people need inspiration, you could look Ashley up in all of her resources, or Amy.
well, I'm also just not my career. No. But I'm also hearing though that if you want a thing, you're like, I want my partner to do more dirty talk. And even if you had the conversation, here's all the things you can say and they still freeze. You can continue to give them prompts to invite them to engage, because I think a lot of people get frustrated. They're like, I've asked you for the dirty talk. You don't do it. And you can, if you really want that, you're saying you can just continue to invite them to join you.
Yes, you absolutely can. I think it's a conversation. Like it's sexy, it's seductive, but it's at the end of the day, you're asking for what you want and you're sharing your experience in real time, which is so helpful. And, if you put on a voice, if that feels good for you, cool. You don't have to though. Like I drop my voice because that helps me get in that headspace, but it's really not necessary. You could do it in a normal speaking voice. I could be like, Amy, your body is so amazing. I just can't wait to run my hands all over it.
That lands too.
Right?
Yeah. That works. Huh.
Weird.
Well, I think a lot of people get in their heads about the tone,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Yes.
that you should always speak like this
Right.
all the time. But you're saying you can also just be like, hey, I want you to flip me over and fuck me right now.
Yes. That's very hot.
That's still dirty talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is no definition of what dirty talk actually can be. It's decided by the human.
Absolutely.
There's a revelation for everyone. You don't have to do dirty talk in any specific way. So you could be like a bratty, like, I want this. Or you could be a daddy, like, I want this. Or you could be an Ashley and be like, hi. So, okay, so prompts for outside. If you're not a vocal person and you cannot offer this to your partner, you're just like, I'm sorry, I just can't do it, even with cue cards. What would you suggest?
Don't underestimate the value of a well-placed fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Or, oh my God.
You can have like your running lines that are
Absolutely.
connected to your feelings, but you don't have to have like a whole like all sentences and things.
Yeah, you don't have to be running on and composing soliloquies in real time.
This is good advice.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I love, so for me personally, I am not very good at dirty talk. I am. So, but I'm not good at like the sentences. Like they're like, Daddy, I want you to fuck me really hard in this hole. Or like, sorry, that was a weird voice to use for that. but like it's, so I get in my head when I think of like, say something right now that is profound. And then I get in my head, but the like, fuck yes. Like that comes natural because it is with my emotions. I think we talked about this. Aren't you the same?
Yeah, yes. I think talking about like what you were saying when you were on the phone with people, when you were phone talk sexing. Yes. I don't know what you want to call it. So it's like talking about what you're actually doing in the moment or what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right? That's like sexy enough. So if you don't have any dialogue, or could you put on something in the background like some kind of erotic story to help you along and fill in the blanks?
Goodness, yes. I love having like a Rachel Kramer Bussell erotica book, like kind of in my bedside table that ideally has a couple of highlighted passages that I already know like are good for you, that work for you. And then I can just be like, let me just pull this out and reference real quick.
She's been on our show as well.
Yeah.
We love Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel's awesome. Yeah, just so something that inspires. Do you ever put porn on to inspire it though in the background?
Sometimes, although I don't love most porn dialogue. Yeah. And it feels a little bit too performative for me. But every once in a while, I found especially some like audio porn on Pornhub that is actually meant to be just listened to. And that can be really good for getting in the mood.
It's just audio. There's no humans that you see. Oh, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
I love the scenarios. Ashley, anything we throw at Ashley, she's like, I got it. So this has happened once before in my bedroom experience, and I don't know if it's happened to either of you. And I've hooked up with a lot of English was not their first language folks, and there was a time where I was hooking up, and my partner was saying something, and we were in the heat of the moment, and it totally did not catch with me. It was meant to be dirty talk, but he was like, I am going to kiss every centimeter of your body, and I lost it at centimeter because I was like used to inch, and I was like, I had just lost it. And so I started laughing, and it was hilarious, and there was no shame in it. However, there have been other times where there's been partners that have said a word or something like twat, right? That you were like, no. So if something happens and the direction the dirty talk goes a direction of, oh, fuck, this is not hitting for me. How do you steer that ship?
I like to just hit a pause button, and I will say out loud, pause. We need to recalibrate or like reorient ourselves because this is not working for me. That happens a lot when I'm sexting with my boyfriend, where he and I both have ADHD, but he has like real bad ADHD in fantasy, where like he'll start down a fantasy track and then switch gears to a different track and then switch gears to another track. And I'm just like, bro, if it's for him, that's fine. He likes that. But if it's for me, I'm like, keep the fucking tempo.
Where are we now? We're like in Candyland all of a sudden.
Like, I don't suddenly want a new character to come in. I don't suddenly want you to like start fucking my ass when you've been playing with my pussy for 20 minutes. Like, I just need you to keep it. So I'll be like, wait, pause. That's not working for me. We need to go in a different direction. And it's that easy. And like, it doesn't have to be a big deal. You fucked up. You're terrible. No, it's just like, oh, no, not that way. Go this way.
Yeah. So when you were saying that, April, we both have had experiences with people overseas where English is not their first language. And I'm laughing because the stories are both uniquely entertaining, at least to me. So one thing for me is like, I don't want to be called bitch. I'm not bitch. Same. Yes. And I understand when I talk to someone about being like a bad little girl, I'm a sub, why you'd be like, yeah, bitch. And you know, I only had, so it was like it wasn't Tinder. What was this app? Oh, it was a Field date. Field, the app, fabulous. And when we were having, so we had talked about like kink, right? Like I'm into like being a subby person, but like not like the whole experience needs to be that. So I understand why he's Portuguese. So his first language was not English, but spoke really fantastic English, but still why it landed to be, yeah, bitch would be applicable. In my mind, I was like, we only have like an hour and like I'm only here for a night. I don't even feel like having this conversation to like teach and explain to you about this, why a bitch would not land for me. So I bypassed it, and then I felt really bad later. Not for him. I felt bad internally. Like I gave up on myself, right? I was like, I'm just going to go with it. And this is like me, like 2 years ago. I mean, like in my late 30s, and I've been a sex educator for a long time. I guess I'm advocating for like, take the risk to say the thing, even if it's going to be time consuming, because I kind of wish I did that a little bit, but.
So you just let him say it?
And he said it again. He said it a second time about
and then what did you do later? When he said it again, you still didn't advocate
really turned off and like
shut down.
Just kept going with it. And then
if you would have said press pause, do you think that would have helped?
And even if he was like, what does press pause mean? And be like, okay, just stop. I think I could have done this. But I just decided like, not worth it. Like, I don't want to take the time to do this. But my mind, body, and spirit felt kind of shitty later. Like, it could have potentially been good sex.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, like, it wasn't his fault that he thought, yeah, bitch was the right thing to say.
That's so common, especially I think for those of us socialized feminine, where we often override our own discomfort in the favor of keeping the peace. But I feel like especially with like one night stands or new partners where you do have kind of a short window, like that is the time to have the sex be exactly what you want it to be. Like, we don't have time to fuck around. Nope, don't do it like that. Do it like this. And I mean, I have absolutely done exactly what you did with different things where like I didn't like a certain thing or they were spanking me or pulling my hair without asking, which is so common. Unfortunately, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Ask first. And just because you think that you're dominant does not mean that I want rough sex.
Or being choked.
Or, oh my God, definitely not being choked. So that aside, like I would kind of go along with it just and hoping they like go in a different direction and make a lot of noise when they hit something that I did like. But like, motherfucker, I'm 38 years old at this point. Like, I do not have time to hope that you figure it out. Like, I'm just going to be really direct with you. And if you can't get on board with that, if that freaks you out, that I'm like really clear about what I want and don't want, then we shouldn't be fucking anyway.
So yeah, I think that's really important to get clear on the prompts of things that you are, especially. We always are talking about what we want in the bedroom, which is awesome. But if there's something specific that you do not want, laying that out before the intimacy in the bedroom and the sex and the physical acts of what you're managing in the bedroom starts, like, especially if you have words that are a total turnoff, like, hey, just to let you know, I love dirty talk. And if you say the word twat or bitch to me, it's not going to really serve this situation well. And I want to have pleasure, and I want to make sure that, you know, this is a pleasurable experience for both of us on whatever level. So don't say those things. That can be, you can even do that if you are with like, I don't know, someone that you have a consistent relationship or casual sex with, or a partner that you maybe want to have more dirty talk with, and be like, what about you? Are there any words that you don't want to hear? I don't know if my partner has any of those. I wonder sometimes. I need to ask
hear
him.
all the things.
I think maybe. I don't think he'd ever want to hear like something mean about him.
Cuckolding, be like, yo, you're a pathetic little bitch.
I don't know. He would not like that. You're right. You're right.
But
okay.
Yeah.
But he'd probably be like, what's cuckolding? Like, all right. Well,
an educational moment though, right? Like, and I like what you were saying, April, you were saying like, here's what I like and don't like, but then what about you, right? Is like, it opens. And then with what you were saying, Ashley, like it can open up into the other things that are not just dirty talk. Like this is the kind of sex I like to have, right? Like it can open the doors to other conversations.
Absolutely it can. And I like to do a yes, no, maybe list. Like we typically associate that with sex acts, but you can also use those same lists for like, what words do you like? What phrases? Bex Talk Sex has a really like super powered.
How do you spell this?
BEX Talks Sex.
Okay.
They have an amazing super powered yes, no, maybe list that covers not just sex acts, but also words and phrases. And then feelings. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel cared for? Do you want to feel abandoned? Do you want to feel degraded? Do you want to feel worshipped? Do you want to? And I'm like, oh, that is it. Because we get so caught up in like consent is just a yes, no binary, and not like the subtle nuances of one, what am I in the mood for today? Which could be very different than what I was in the mood for yesterday, especially depending on where I am in my cycle.
Yep.
Word.
I get feral when I'm ovulating.
Oh God. April and I have been shut down for the last 2 days.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So yeah, like having that as kind of an organic conversation, like what do we want to co-create together? What kinds of words are feeling yummy? What kinds of scenarios feel good? Because, you know, my boyfriend and I actually switch. Sometimes he's daddy and sometimes I'm mommy. And it tends to depend on like who needs a little bit more nurturing that day. And so if he's like, I really need you to be mommy tonight, like I've had a really shitty day, I'm like, I got you, baby. You're such a good boy for me.
Oh, see, but you're switchy.
I'm switchy.
Yeah. It's because not everyone is like a switchy energy.
I have not always been. I was like a pretty strict submissive for most of my life. It's really just with him that I've started to flesh out my more like femdom muscles. And it's been fun to kind of lean into that. And like, I can't be a mean mommy.
No,
Like I can't be like, you
humiliation,
pathetic. That nope, not at all.
That's
Like,
a
much
different
more
category. Yeah.
nurturing and like, oh, sweetheart, come here. Let me show you how to stroke your cock so it feels really good.
And you get that from a safe place.
Right?
What I've been exploring in my partnership, especially with Dirty Talk, because I never really have had the permission in a relationship to do that. And it's never been coming out of my mouth. I will receive it and like it. But now I am exploring that with my partner. And it's sort of when something hits, I really give him a lot of affirmations. I'm like, that was so fucking hot. Yes. And it really is different though sometimes, not only cyclically if you're a human, but sometimes it's different in different partnerships. Mm-hmm. There are things that my partner says to me now that I don't think I would have ever wanted to hear from a partner in the past. And I don't know if it's like that with either of you two. But
you probably feel like safer in some way to explore that.
Or it just didn't fit. Like
them saying it didn't.
Exactly. And with him, it fits. Like he's such a daddy. And I love that daddy. I'm not a mommy though.
No, you're not.
No. I like to be like the more submissive.
Fact. Most pussy owners need some sort of clitoral stimulation to orgasm, and many are not having orgasms from penetrative sex.
Say what?
I know, right? This is one of the many reasons why we are obsessed with OMG Yes. Not only has it changed our lives in the orgasm department, but I've been recommending OMG Yes to my clients for years, and it's completely changed their sex lives as well. OMG Yes features scientific research of real vulva owners, aka women, showing techniques to pleasure the pussy. They turn the research into tasteful, educational short videos, animated modules, and infographics for easy visual learning.
They call it OMG Yes for a reason, because OMG Yes is for anyone who wants to learn about pussy pleasure or take it to the next level. Whether you're a beginner or someone who wants to take your orgasms from good to mind-blowing, then you need to check out OMG Yes. They have 3 seasons: external pleasure, internal pleasure, and sex toys. It's not a subscription service, y'all, so you don't need to download a single thing. And it's great for partners who want to pleasure that pussy too. And for listeners of our show, OMGS is offering 10% off when you go to omgyes.com/shameless. Again, that's omgyes.com/shameless to receive 10% off unlimited access towards enhancing your pleasure power forever. Newsflash, everybody. We are picky about our lubes.
Can we say uber picky?
Yes, we can. And let me tell you all why Uber Lube is our absolute favorite lube ever. Uber Lube is a luxurious silicone lubricant that I want all over my body. Yes, it's designed for sex because it enhances intimacy while allowing you to still feel the skin-on-skin contact, but it feels so good that I want it everywhere. Uber Lube is long-lasting, leaves your skin feeling velvety smooth, and it's there when you want it, but then it dissipates when you're done.
Yes! Aside from using Uber Lube for all of my sexy sessions, and I use it all the time, I also use it for massages, for my hair frizzies, to prevent chafing, and it brings out the color of your beautiful tattoos. Thousands of doctors and therapists in the US alone are recommending Uber Lube to their patients because it's body-friendly, less likely to change the pH, and has vitamin E so it feels moisturizing on the skin. Uber Lube has no flavor or scent, which means it's also great for oral sex. And it comes in a beautiful glass bottle with a pump top, which means easy access to Pleasure Town.
Want to see why we think Uber Lube is the best lube in the world? Then go to uberlube.com and use discount code SHAMELESS to get 10% off and free shipping. Again, that's uberlube.com right now with code SHAMELESS for 10% off and free shipping. So, okay, I like all of this yes, no, maybe. We talk about that a lot. And sometimes it can feel hard to do that sort of thing, like create the list. Or maybe you have your list and your partner just is like, I'm a curmudgeon. I don't make mist.
That's their role. They're curmudgeon in sex. That's their dirty talk.
So be like, I love a curmudgeon.
Right.
Do you want me to get my laser pointer out?
Speak to me in curmudgeon.
Yes. Here you go. So what's like a good inspirational tool aside from listening to podcasts? And obviously we have, because people love tips and tools.
Oh, and working with you.
Working with Ashley.
I do coaching.
Yeah,
yes. Because this can be really challenging. Like it is. Improv was the best thing that you talked about. And I love that creativity that is involved with improvisation. And it can be mortifying. You can be just like, oh my God, just embarrassed. And vulnerable. So so work with you, and what would be that first step into embracing who you are, getting into this creativity role and being the fucking dirty talk champion that you are?
Embrace the awkward.
Yeah.
In the words of Reed Mahalko, like you really have to own that sometimes you're going to sound silly.
Yeah.
And that's okay. My friend Bevan likes to say, no one ever died of awkward. Like, it's going to be okay. And if it completely kills the mood, that is a bigger issue in your relationship overall. Like, you've got to be able to roll with the punches. You've got to be able to be like, oop, I just farted. Like, oh, well, oop, I drooled. Oop, I said a silly thing. Like, you have to be able to just roll with it and laugh at yourselves, and not like derisively laugh at each other, but like be playful and then be like, all right, how are we going to recover? Like, you just have to let go of the idea that you're going to be this perfectly polished version of yourself all the time. Cause like, that's just not real life.
And it's sex. And I guess most people, we say play here. We're all sex educators. So we say that like, well, playtime. Most people don't call sex play because they think of like being a child. And I understand this. And part of it though is play. Think of like two bodies wrapping, or three or four or five, whatever you're doing. It's kind of ridiculous. Like some of the things, even if dirty talk's taken off the table, like it's hot, it's sexy, but it's like, it's an interesting thing that we're trying to fit. It's almost like two puzzle pieces that are not exactly, for a lot of the time, not all the time, designed to fit each other. And sometimes they do. And we're trying to put them together and like be sexy and on point and have orgasms and give orgasms and be perfectly sexy or hot or whatever. It's silly.
It is so silly. Midori, who's another one of my favorite sex educators, talks a lot about like bringing in the kind of childlike wonder and curiosity that you had when you were little, when you didn't have the shame, when you would play doctor, or you would play space aliens, or you would play whatever, and just go into it. And she actually encourages people to, think about what were your favorite movies? What were your favorite, whether it was comic book characters or Disney princesses, or like when you played pretend as a kid, because we all did in some capacity, when you played Barbies or G.I. Joes or whatever, what were the scenarios about? What were some of your favorite things? Let's start there and unpack that a little bit. Because I have a whole like Captain Hook and Wendy fetish fantasy.
Is Peter Pan in there?
Peter Pan is watching.
He's
in the cuck chair.
Where's Tinkerbell? Where's Tinkerbell?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I had a thing for villains.
So Wendy and Captain Hook are fucking. Peter Pan's in the corner. And he's like, oh wow, this is like, that's my girl, but I'm really turned on by this. Yeah, where's Tinkerbell? That's a good question.
Yeah, Tinkerbell is just chilling.
Tinkerbell is the lube caddy.
Oh, that's amazing. You already had an answer for this.
Awesome.
Okay. What about you, Amy? Any childhood characters you could bring into real life?
I'm interested because I started having rape fantasies when I was 10.
Same.
And from Melrose Place, you're almost like the same age. Like I'm a
silk stockings.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Mine was so I know this is controversial for a lot of people, but it was there. It just like sparked something in me seeing a rape scene in Melrose Place. And so I would walk around. I was an only child. I was a very special child. Walk around in circles by myself in my backyard telling rape fantasy stories in my brain, probably getting turned on, but not touching myself. No, I was turned on. That's why I was doing that. And so I would tell these stories. So like, but I mean, that's classic. Like I'm that person, right? I'm the person that this is happening, but the person that is doing this is always hot. And I kind of want it, but I don't want it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Chip?
Well, I think She-Ra, Princess of Power.
I love her.
Oh,
with He-Man coming in.
What'd you guys do though?
Yeah.
Well, she would probably be just like shooting her light everywhere and making, I don't know. I never really brought her into the bedroom, but this is what I'm saying. This is helpful.
Right.
And I think that I don't really think that the Smurfs would be hot, but I did think about that when you were talking about your Peter Pan, Wendy, Captain Hook thing. But there is something with pirates and like the powerful role, which Smurfs, I don't really think Papa Smurf was that powerful. And She-Ra, I can't remember the dynamic of who was powerful in those things.
But Smurfs are kind of gangbang because there's like one girl, right?
It's just the blue thing. The blue does not match with fucking anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so this is fun. So everyone can take away thinking about what you'd want, like for the play part. If it's like Superman or Wonder Woman or I don't know. There's so many characters nowadays. Marvel comes out with a new fucking movie every like Wakanda, like the all of the oh my god, like there's so many hot superheroes now. I could not get into that. What is it? The Boys one? The Boys on the Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit, that fucked me up. Is it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, with a bunch of crazy characters. That one messed up my sexual prowess for comic book characters.
I have a question.
Joker and Harley Quinn, honestly, for me. Like
makes sense. Yeah.
For Suicide Squad, I would just pull out the clips of them together and jerk off to that. Like that's turned me on. So they have like compilations on YouTube and I would just play it and be like, oh yeah.
I need to jerk off to more shows.
What about the new one that came out with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn? Oh my God.
I have not seen it yet.
It's very musical.
Did you jerk off to it though?
Me? No. I don't know if she would. Maybe Ashley would.
It's very possible.
What about the therapeutic act of fantasizing or role playing? I know we're going to role play now, but a role that you don't identify with, that or is like an the opposition of what you're into, or even like going this place, like the harming human in your brain.
Absolutely. That was how I started with the mommy dom thing, because that is super the opposite. I was daddy's little girl forever. Like my boyfriend has been known in public as Canadian daddy since we started.
I know. I saw that. Yes.
Right. So the mommy thing started out as sort of a service topping thing for him, where I was like, okay, you really want this. You've never wanted it with anyone before and you're curious about it. And I want to nurture that in you. And all right, let me just like kind of try to channel that. And I actually went and I read mommy dom erotica. I watched some mommy dom porn, like from like really good femdoms, and Mistress T, I think, was one of them that's really good. And I was like, okay, let me bring in some different elements, because I was already pegging him. Like I helped him find his prostate and taught him to love his prostate.
Thank goodness for you.
It is my honor. You know, honestly, he took it and ran with it. Like now that man is in love with his prostate. They are having a full-on love affair. But, you know, there doesn't have to be an inherent power dynamic in that, but there can be. So I was like, okay, can I channel that energy of me like putting big toys in his ass and getting like as much of my fist as I can get in his ass, which is where we are now. We went from fingers to like almost all of my fist.
And you're able to stay in that role to some capacity. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
So, you know, channeling that into the mommy role actually dovetailed really nicely. And so, you know, if somebody's trying on a role that is not their typical, that is just like not who they are, whether it's mean or it's more service oriented or whatever, give yourself permission to be bad at it at first. That's okay. You're not going to go from 0 to 60. It's muscle memory. So, you know, read some things, get some inspiration, get some information from them on what are your favorite things to hear? What kind of flavor notes are you going for in this interaction? And then do your best. And you can always, and I encourage you to, debrief afterwards. What worked? What didn't? What do we want more of next time? What do we want less of next time?
I think that's good advice. And there's always resources out there that can help improve what you're doing or your role play. Mm-hmm. I don't think if someone wanted me to, if I could never be Peter Pan or Captain Hook unless I was inspired by something that my partner really wanted. If he really wanted Captain Hook, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to research. I'm going to maybe get the costume. Then you really embody that character. Mm-hmm. And I'm just throwing that out because you had mentioned that. So,
or couldn't you take your own twists? Like, I'm not Captain Hook, I'm Captain Hooker.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you absolutely can.
Why not? I think so.
You
just
make
give it
the
permission.
Rules. Yeah.
Yes. Fuck yes. Ashley, I love making the rules.
Yes.
I know you do too. Okay. So Obviously, we want to talk to you all the time, and you have a lot of resources. Unless you have any more questions for her.
All right, I have
Amy.
one.
Of course, I knew it. I knew it. I could tell.
Give it to me, baby.
Last question. Okay, so you tried the things, right? April's Captain Hooker. Now we negotiated. She's like, I'm not Captain Hook. I'm Captain Hooker. And I was like, okay. Then we try the things, and even in that, April's doing the Captain Hooker thing, and she's like, just not my jam. Just not my jam.
I can't work on the pirate. The pirate
It's just a no.
dialect is not coming out.
It's just a no to you.
Okay,
You're just like, this is not something I want to do. It's a hard no, right? It's just like, this is not only doesn't turn me on, and it just feels too whatever. Like, I don't really want to do this. I said, really, I don't want to do this again. People are really afraid to say that oftentimes. Like, that's just so, but your advice for them. And then April will close with a nipple in her lap.
In the moment, one of my favorite like gentle closing phrases is, I'm feeling complete with this.
In the moment, like when it's happening.
Like when it's happening. In the midst of Captain Hooker, you're like, you know what? I'm feeling complete with this. Let's try something else, or let's move into cuddling, or let's switch gears. And then in the debrief, to just share like, hey, what I'm noticing, always I statements. I'm noticing that like that didn't really feel authentic for me, or like something I think I want to do again. But are there aspects of that maybe we could funnel into something else?
That's a good
answered my question. Perfect
way to approach that. There's nothing about the other person. Good job, Ashley. This is why you've been you're an award-winning sex educator. You've been revered in not only the sex toy industry, but on many different facets of the mainstream media. So how can people, if they want to find more of Ashley Manta, your work, do you have anything upcoming that you want to share? All of your handles?
Yeah.
Give it to us. Yeah, baby.
So you can find me on my website. That's sort of the portal to all of it, which is ashleymanta.com, MANTA, Manta like Santa. And you can find me on Instagram at CannaSexual. I am also on Blue Sky. I think just CannaSexual on Blue Sky. And I have an online course portal where if you want to take classes from me that are self-paced, they're pre-recorded, including I have a dirty talk course. If you go to elevatedintimacy.com, which is also the name of my former podcast that is on indefinite hiatus, you can find my courses there. I do work with coaching clients privately via Zoom. So I work with women, couples, and every once in a while, the occasional single man.
Yeah.
Very, you got to jump through a lot of hoops to make sure that you're not wasting my time. Otherwise, I send you to my OnlyFans.
It doesn't mean that we don't love you. It just means that sometimes it's just fans and not like work can actually happen.
If you want to see me naked, go to my OnlyFans.
I feel complete without working with you.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Exactly.
Oh, everyone go work with Ashley. She's fucking amazing.
And I have an online group coaching program coming up because some people, my coaching rates are not cheap. So they may not be able to afford that weekly or biweekly. So I have a 90-day group coaching program that's going to be kicking off in May that is called Attuning to the Cosmic Orgasm. And that is for women.
Meow.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can find all of this at ashleymanta.com,
all
right?
of it's at ashleymanta.com.
And in the show notes, y'all.
All right. Well, I love this. It's so cool to see you in person after so much time that has passed. And I'm so happy for everything that you're doing and for everywhere that you're going, everywhere that you've been, everywhere that you are right now, Ashley. Thank you so much. And to all of our listeners out there, please check out Ashley Manta's work. Also, check out shamelesssex.com because we have so many resources and events, and we even have a retreat that's coming up. We have a lot of fun things happening. It's 2025 right now. We also have a premium subscription. It's the all access pass to Shameless Sex things. It's raw and unedited, and hopefully we can lure Ashley in to doing a little bit with that after this show. Also, please rate us on your favorite listening app. Wherever you listen, it helps more people find themselves having more shameless, consensual sex. Okay, this is about improving the world's pleasure, one orgasm and one dirty moment, one dirty sentence at a time. Okay. We will see you next Tuesday. Ciao for now.
To learn more, go to shamelesssex.com.
And for 15% off some of our favorite sex toys, use code SHAMELESSSEX at purepleasureshop.com.